Welcome to Inside Design with Kandrac and Kole. This podcast is a conversation between two business partners, Joanne Kandrac and Kelly Kole. Join us for a lively conversation about all things interior design, from current projects, trade show experiences, worldwide travel, what's in, what's out, and all the challenges and wins they've had running their successful design business. Whether you're a seasoned interior designer, new to the industry, or a creative enthusiast, you will walk away with insightful information, newfound inspiration, and a smile on your face after listening to these two. And here they are, Joanne and Kelly.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is episode 174 of Inside Design with Kandrac and Kole. And today is our year-end wrap-up for 2023. We're going to be talking about all the amazing projects that we've worked on and the people we've met, the clients that we've worked with. We've been very, very blessed in 2023. And we're going to kind of, talk about the lessons we've learned as well. So
yeah, we'll take it month by month because it's too hard to try to do it any other way.
Yeah. So we just kind of have started our vision boards for 2024, which is part of our goal setting every year, if you've listened to those podcast episodes with us. And so it's also a time to reflect on, how well did we do? When we look back at those vision boards, what did we accomplish?
What did we learn?
What did we learn? So that's what we're diving into today.
Yeah. Okay. So our sponsor today is AmericasMart Atlanta Market. They're a wholesale product discovery experience right here in Atlanta. It's held in January and July. And that's when they bring in all new product and new resources to connect manufacturers, sales reps, and for helping you build our business.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Our team's gearing up to visit.
Yep.
There's a lot of networking opportunities. We love going there to kind of kick off the year. We'd like to see a lot of our friends and like-minded business owners, creatives. It's the perfect place to get inspired by the fabrics, the colors, and the design-forward products. So they've also got floors and floors of temporaries, which we love.
Love the temporaries.
Including our favorite, which is high design.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have 5 floors of casual and outdoor furniture. So we can still be thinking ahead for spring and summer.
Yeah, because we got to place those orders, now.
In the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So to learn more and to pre-register for the winter market, you can go to atlantamarket.com. And we hope to see you there in January.
Awesome. So let's start with January 2023. So speaking of AmericasMart, of course, we went to the show. And it's great because when we've been to High Point, we usually go spring and fall, but it's especially great because sometimes we miss a market. So if we haven't been, say, in October, and we haven't kind of seen new product really in a showcase format since the previous spring.
And the showrooms are different.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Norwalk has a showroom there. There's not a lot of furniture companies that show at the Atlanta market, but they do. And so it's a little bit more of a smaller, more intimate setting.
Yep.
And we get to spend a little bit more time there because we're not running, acres of places. It's all kind of in one building.
Yep. January was also crazy because, as you guys know, we do a lot of multifamily design, so luxury apartment communities, and they are here in Atlanta, and we spend a lot of time in the fourth quarter of the previous year giving them all the proposals that they've asked for whatever might be upcoming the following year. So it could be a leasing center, a fitness center, a clubhouse, a model. We've probably done like 20 to 24
rooftops
proposals
pools.
The year before. So in January, their budgets are approved and
the floodgates open.
So we are slammed usually for first quarter with our multifamily. So in January, we were doing a really cool model. We did a big clubhouse and leasing center.
Yes.
And they're just so much fun because they're all different. They all have a different demographic. They have a different vibe.
What I love about it too is the employees love to have new surroundings. Like when we
Yes.
come in, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, the girls are here. What are we getting? You know,
Yeah.
they get very excited because you remember if I've worked in some dumpy offices
Yeah. Ugh.
with bad lighting or whatever. And then for them to go to and being really proud of where they work and sitting at a nice desk and to have almost like a hotel kind of lobby feel where you work
Yes.
is really nice.
It's really nice. And we understand, that was my first career. So I understand the pressure of staying highly occupied and leasing up those apartments and creating,
The
big revenues for your owners. And so as a leasing consultant, how I started, to have a new model, to have new amenities.
The competition in
Yeah.
Atlanta is huge.
It's a big deal.
It's a really big deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So January was great. February. Oh, February was the highlight of the year, wasn't
Yes.
it?
We went to
Well,
Marrakesh.
besides your grandbabies that we'll talk about.
We'll talk about those in a minute. But we went to Marrakesh and Lisbon.
Yes.
And we had Marrakesh on our bucket list
Yep.
for a long time.
Yep.
And people say, well, what made you go there? What made you think of that? Well, we had so many of our designer friends had
Mhm.
gone. So we knew that it was
A design mecca.
A design mecca. And so we ended up finally biting the bullet, and it really far exceeded my expectations.
Yes.
It really, really did. I think about that trip so much.
Mhm.
When I see a weird angle of a door opening, I think of Morocco. I mean,
We were at the Aspire tour here in Atlanta for the last 2 days. So if we look a little blurry-eyed and sleepy, that's why. And Sarah Blakely was one of the amazing presenters. And she has a motto. And her motto is, the more you experience in life, the more you have to offer others. And that was a moment for us because we just learned so much about design, about travel, about people, about cultures, languages. I think it made us, it helped us to be more in-depth
and
humans.
And it did take me out of my comfort zone when we rode camels. And that was very interesting because I'm afraid of horses. I'm afraid of everything. I'm afraid of a lot of things. So the fact that I got up on that camel, that was like
what was funny was, so the camels lay down. They curl up underneath their legs and they lay down on the ground so that you can get up, and then they like heave their whole bodies. And so when they do it, you're kind of like,
well, no,
it's like riding a bronking bull.
When they go down, they're pissed.
They
don't want.
Oh, they were not happy.
They do not. They go.
They were.
And I was like,
"That's hilarious."
This guy's pissed, and he's gonna lash out at me. See,
and then we're just like walking down this terrain, and we had the four of us because we went with two other good friends, and Joanne was such a good sport because I wanted to do it so badly. I'm like the safari girl. Joanne's like, no. I knew she did it just for me. I was just, it was awesome.
I'm not the outdoorsy type.
Oh my God. The thought of that camel being so mad. Joanne's eyes were bugging out of her head. Anyway.
Okay. So let's go to March. And March
what happened
was
in March?
like we had like 5 installs.
Well, because you go on vacation for 2 weeks, you got to come back and be killed, absolutely, utterly annihilated. So we had 5 installs that I look back at all of our pictures. Was a little bit of residential, a little bit of commercial. Yeah, we killed ourselves, but we earned it. We said sayonara to everybody for 2 weeks, so we knew we were going to get killed when we got back.
Yeah. April was really a fun month.
Yes.
We were featured in Atlanta Magazine Home for a project that we've talked about before. And it was a really nice spread. It was a great project.
Yeah, I want to say it was 10 pages or something, or 8 pages. It was amazing.
And ironically, tonight we are going to the Atlanta Magazine Home Georgia Awards.
Yep.
Which this project won in the category of outdoor porches, decks, and exteriors. So that project is on our website. It's got the 2 beautiful Atlanta bed swings, and it was that space that we won. We don't know if we won a bronze, silver, or gold. So
we'll find out tonight.
Stay tuned.
Yeah,
but that was very, very exciting to be featured. And Lisa Mowry wrote that article, and it was really great.
Yeah, with our photographer Lauren Rubenstein. And then, as always, when it's April, we're in High Point, and we had another great insiders tour where we led 15. No, we had 16 in April.
Yeah.
Oh, we may have even had 17. I know we had one girl slide in at the last second begging to be on our tour. where we host a curated tour of High Point and all of our favorite showrooms. And it's always just it's a give back moment for us. I mean, it's great to mentor.
We enjoy it. We definitely
designers that aren't familiar with High Point. So that was great. So what happened in May? Oh, yes. May, we started a huge project in Marietta. It was this great couple had bought this new house and they wanted to renovate all the bathrooms, which was 1, 2,
5.
3, 5. Is there 5?
Yep.
Basement, Jack and Jill, master, powder room, guest, but yes, 5. Gutted them.
Yeah.
And it was,
they want us to furnish all the rooms as well.
The entire first floor plus their master bedroom and a lot in their basement as well.
Okay, so that was in May.
Yes.
And it really got totally completed about 3 weeks ago.
Yes. We've got a few stragglers that have to be delivered.
They did it in a couple of phases. When you have 5 bathrooms, you're not going to renovate them all at the same time.
Yep.
They did 3 so that 2 could be used. And then once those 3 were done, they did the other 2 so that then the other 3 were free.
Yeah, but we replaced, we painted the whole place. We changed out all of their lighting. We did this amazing carpet up their big grand staircase, lots of things. It was,
and we're photographing that in January.
Yeah. No.
In January.
Oh, January. Yes, you're right. You're right. Yes,
Yeah.
Lauren's coming back for that.
Oh, and then we installed a large pool project.
It was our biggest one.
Yeah.
We do a lot of outdoor spaces.
Yeah.
But this was a Buckhead high rise. The pool's on the 7th floor. Yep. And it was, it's bigger than a hotel. Think of a Vegas hotel, like how big those pools and those are kind of all the different day beds and little cabanas and fire pits and cute little conversation areas and TVs. It wasn't just a pool, people. Yeah. It was awesome. We loved it.
It came out. It really came out great.
And then June was our annual trip to Guatemala. You got to give back, people, right? Got to give back. We realize how blessed we are. And we had a small team of 7 this year. And it was probably our best trip ever.
It was so good.
It was our best really trip ever. We gave and we gave and we gave. And we built a home. We visited orphanages. We blessed this family with everything they could ever want. They lived in a little tiny, literally lean-to with 0 possessions. And their little 2-year-old boy. And
so appreciative.
It was fantastic.
It was great.
It was great.
And then I was so appreciative because on June 1st, my granddaughter was born.
Yes.
This is my youngest daughter. This is her first child. Her name is Eleanor, and she's got tons of black curly-ish hair and blue eyes, which there are no Italians in my family
really praying they stay
that have blue eyes. I do hope they stay. So that was wonderful.
A big deal.
Wonderful.
A big deal.
Wonderful. Moments.
And then July was a big moment kind of for me personally.
Surprise!
I got this beautiful cocktail table book in the mail, and we get them regularly because we order them for ourselves, or publishers send them to us so that we can blog and write and talk about them. And that's what I thought it was. And I was just going to it was late at night and I opened the box. I was like, wow, this is gorgeous. And I was going to just put it in I have, coffee table, these design books everywhere. And I literally just opened it to the middle and I looked down, and it was my lake house that had been featured in Cottage Journal magazine the year before. I was like, wait, what? My house is in a book. Oh my God. So huge moment. Beautiful. You can find it. It's called Dream Cottages. You can find it on Amazon. Mm-hmm. It's green on the outside. It's a gorgeous book. If you don't know how to deal with your coffee table, go get it.
I think it was probably more exciting than knowing it was going to be in there to just open it and see it.
Well, I was in the middle. I just opened the page.
That's the greatest part of the whole thing.
It is.
I mean,
it is. It was fantastic. Yep.
Okay, then that month we had a pretty big install.
Yep.
We did the upstairs portion of
Another Marietta house.
And we did these people had not done anything in their home for several years. They were
like
raising
20?
their kids, putting
Yeah.
their kids through college at Harvard and wherever else.
Princeton.
Yeah, smart.
Smarty
pants. And so we did the master bedroom, 2 guest bedrooms, and an office.
And 2 gotten remodeled bathrooms.
Yes.
Yes.
And so it turned out so amazing. We need to get that photographed as well.
Yeah, we got that on our list.
But the client was so just over the moon.
A dream.
And a dream client. It was just, it's so nice when that happens. That was
and it was just nice to see light and bright and color and newness. I mean, it was all new.
Yeah.
They did not we had art that was very important to them, and a few collectibles in the office, baseball and such that we incorporated. But it was all new. Redid all their hardwood floors, painted.
Yeah.
Redid all their hardware throughout the house.
Yeah.
And took them from a very dysfunctional
80s house, I think.
Small, mid-sized master bath to like without changing the footprint, and made it just feel huge and light and bright and functioning. It was great. Yeah.
Great.
So August.
Oh yes, the Kiowa photo shoot we've talked, and actually, if you want to hear the details about it, it's on episode 170. So we just recorded that recently, but we talk all about what it takes to prepare for the photo shoot. The people that we used, the tricks of.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was an amazing job that we had done pre-COVID, and we hadn't been able to. We finished it right in the crux of COVID, and we hadn't been able to get back. And it's not on our website because as soon as we got the 82 images from Margaret Wright, our photographer in Charleston, who is amazing, we submitted it to our first pick national magazine, and they said they loved it. So we don't know when it's coming out, so we can't show it until they say when edition it's,
which is kind of the bummer.
Yeah, but we're so pleased, and so pleased they're taking it. So
and September, Kelly had a wonderful September.
I did.
Kelly was in Italy, and she'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. But Kelly and Lisa in our office, unbeknownst to each other, planned these 10-day trips at the same time.
Oops.
So Lisa's like our right-hand man. So this is my left-hand man. So we had a few little, like I wish I could have called Kelly, but
she stayed away.
I only copied her on things that I really thought she would want to know, but I'm really glad. And this is what being partners is all about. It's so wonderful that she could go and not have to worry. And so we just help each other out that way. But tell them about this amazing trip. Oh my God.
So I dragged my husband, who says, he's such a homebody, but he was a little jealous of our Marrakesh trip. So we had friends call and say that they needed to use these COVID first class tickets that they had, and they wanted to go to Italy. And we were like, well, let's do it. So we spent a week in Florence and a week on the Amalfi Coast, and it was a trip of a lifetime. And our friend Kelly O'Shea from Wanderlust Travel planned the entire thing. It was seamless. It was beautiful. It was life-changing. And just back to, Sarah's motto, the more you experience, the more you have to offer others. And it's just, I feel like one of those lessons is the more you just understand other cultures, and even though this was a luxury setting, but still just understanding history and architecture and where food and where people come from and how they live and what their point of views are. I think it just makes you a more empathetic, well-rounded, intelligent person. And
I think Italy, the culture of the Italian people is, we're kind of envious of it because as much as we try
slower.
Like, a 50-year-old woman riding her bike to work, like I'm not going to do, I'm not going to do that, but they can do that there because everything's, kind of close, and they walk a lot. And they don't have
their
all
food
that
is
we have.
Completely natural and only in season. And
you don't see any extremes. You don't see any really overweight people or really, really thin people. Everybody's just
healthy,
how they're supposed to be.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then October rolls around, and we have to take a big deep breath because for September and most of October, we're doing all those multifamily proposals. So they're calling us saying, hey, it's budget season. I need a proposal to redo this leasing center, this clubhouse, like I was talking about before. So September and October is always exhausting.
I want to say we did 16, 17 of them at least.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
not all of them come to fruition. They kind of it just depends on if budgets get approved.
But in order to create that budget, you have to do the work. We can't just go, oh, well, let's just say it'll be about 110,000. No, we're very, very particular. You have to figure out what kind of pieces you're going to use in there. And then, so you almost are doing the work ahead of time, whether you get it or not.
Yes.
So it's just part of the deal.
Yep. And again, we did High Point and we did the Insiders Tour again.
But then October.
Yes.
Again, I have another grandchild.
Really? I get nothing.
So it's my oldest daughter, this is her third.
My time is coming.
She has a 14-year-old, a 6-year-old, and now this little boy, Elliot, who was born October 21st.
Best name.
And I've spent some time there. And I have to say, what's so interesting about the dynamic of the different age levels, I've noticed that I see the 14-year-old looking at her mom a little differently.
Oh, totally. Oh,
like
so
seeing,
sweet.
I know, seeing like her sacrifice or whatever. I see the 6-year-old who all of a sudden is not everything about him. And I think it really, it's hard to raise kids. It costs a lot of money to raise kids, but what it has done for their family, I just witnessed it. And it was
very
really
interesting because most people have their kids close together.
Yes. And I think they're all learning things differently. And I think that the older two are seeing a kind of love now that they can recognize it. And I really,
that is a great point.
I really love that. I really love that.
Awesome. I think I told you that I have 2 girls, but if I was going to have a boy, his name was going to be Elliot. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. And then November, we started digging in, and we're in the crux of it right now. We're buried in this project right now, but we are honored and thrilled to be working on a modern urgent care veterinary clinic. So definitely not our norm, but all design skills apply.
Yes.
So
we were contacted by a gentleman from New York who had this idea. I don't know that we can say too much about it. We can't say
NDA.
Can't say too much about it. But other than the fact that he built a team because this concept he wants to take around the country. And so he interviewed several people and he picked us. And we were so thrilled. And I think he loved how excited we were about it. And so the team he has put together, the construction people, the vet that's going to kind of run it,
chief medical officer,
the branding guy, like it's so
everybody's
fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's so fun to be a part of something that we're kind of building it, but the concept is amazing, and we'll be able to tell you more as it goes on.
Yes. All right. December. So we only have like a few minutes left. I told you it was going to fly.
Dang it.
So this has been a crazy month. So as we talked about, we were just at the Aspire tour, and this is a tour. This is a 2-day conference for entrepreneurs, business, like-minded people. We talked a lot about money. We talked a lot about life, giving back, being the best you can be, aiming high, doing big things and dreaming and making it happen, and how to make it happen with a star-studded lineup. Sarah Blakely, Jesse Itzler, Kevin Hart, Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank, if you don't know him, A-Rod. It was, just blow your socks off.
I mean, I can't. So we just got home last night.
Yeah.
And I can't stop thinking about so many of the things they said.
Yeah.
And this is going to sound really cheesy, but I think after going to this, our next year is going to be like no other.
Yes.
I really do. I mean, you listen to these people and, they're all on stage and whatever, but even if you grab one or, because there were some that I couldn't really relate to.
Some were really heavy.
Yeah.
And on the money side or on the.
And some were talking about things that, the people in their 20s maybe have to go for. Well, I'm long gone from that. But there were a few things that I know both Kelly and I felt the same way.
Yes.
And I know we're going to change some of the things that we do in our business. And I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
Yep. I know for sure.
Yeah.
I know for sure. And shout out to Jesse Itzler. He wasn't maybe the biggest name on the stage, but he was the biggest for us. His presentation, changed me. I will think about it for the rest of my life. So Jesse, if you're out there, and Sarah Blakely, he's Sarah Blakely's husband. I was beyond impressed. He was totally freaking amazing.
Yeah.
I have no words.
Yeah, I have no words either. I was so it was so choked up. It was so emotionally charged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. So then Joanne already told you that tonight is the Georgia Design Awards Gala. So we know we won, but we're hoping for the gold. But we're just happy. We're going with our husbands. We're going with our photographer, Lauren, and her husband, Blake, and our clients, Cindy and Tom, and Atlanta Bed Swings, Aaron and Mike. And so we're so excited. We have a big, huge table, and we're going to get all dressed up. So,
fancied up.
Yep. And then
KC Design Awards.
Yep,
so
this was a big deal.
We've talked about this before. Design KC is a magazine in Kansas City. Kansas City has an amazing design community.
Amazing.
So we had met what is Keith? Is he the editor? I always get these titles mixed up. Editor. He's
publisher.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. He's our man.
So they wanted to get designers and judges from really all over the country. So there's contractors, builders, designers, whatever. So it asked us to go ahead and judge. So we did it last year, and it was really great that they asked us to do it again. And God, I've got to tell you, we had the. Are we allowed to say? Yeah.
What category?
No, maybe not.
Oh, I don't know if we can.
We might.
But we had 24 projects to judge, and it was completely amazing.
Well, the thing is,
quality work.
They appreciated us doing it so much, but what we got out of it was, number one,
we're going to have a whole podcast on it.
Looking at the best way to present a project. There were a couple people that just didn't give the story or explain very well. There were photos that were not great. There was some who just, and I looked at that and said, and I got like,
we learned a lot.
I want to do that. Look at that piece.
Yeah.
So it was really a good win-win. And I really am just really, really impressed and just, honored that we could judge something like that.
Yeah. And they were a sponsor this year. So we're very thankful for them. Yep. So I'm tired. That was a busy year. But I'm so invigorated after yesterday's conference.
Let me just say that conference, we booked it a while ago. I had no idea what our week would be like. This has probably been the most high pressure, deadline, crazy weeks out of our entire year.
Yes.
Honestly, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
But
why I have a hat on, I just couldn't get the
But
shower
let me
this
just
morning.
tell you, take a little bit of time away from your business because it will rejuvenate you and give you a whole new perspective. If you start and you're going on that wheel, you're going to get burned out. Take time away.
Because that Aspire tour was not a design event in any stretch.
No.
There were I don't even know if there were any designers there.
Wait, there was one girl.
Oh, yeah,
there was one because she recognized us from the Design Influencers
That's
Conference. She's
right.
like, I saw you speak. And we're like,
2,500 people.
We're famous. We sat right next to her.
That's right.
We're famous.
Oh. Yeah. So, but yeah, take time and do something away from your business that fuels your business. And you'll be amazed at what happens.
What is that work on your business, not always in your business?
Yes. So we'll have a whole podcast on what we learned from our judging experience at Design KC and what we learned at Aspire. So good stuff already in the books for 2024. Okay. You want to do the funny one?
Sure.
It's a good one.
Okay.
Caroline Hipple, you're going to like this.
Yes. This is from Terry Hershey.
Okay.
Word for the day. Herkel Durkel. A 200-year-old Scottish term meaning to lounge in bed long after it's time to get up. Happiness is Herkel Durkling.
I Googled it. It's totally a real word. Yes. And I am the queen of Herkel Durkling, just for the record. Okay. Serious quote. To end 2023. Piglet noticed that even though he had a very small heart, it could hold a rather large amount of gratitude. And that's A.A. Milne. And that's us. We have a huge amount of gratitude for all of you guys that listen and watch us and review us and support us and stop us on the street. And literally, we don't know if people are listening.
We really don't.
It means so much to us. And you guys, we have huge things coming up in 2024 for our podcast.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about them quite yet, but we're hitting the ground in January with
Something new.
big
Something new.
stuff. Yep. Totally. Our podcast is going to go. Yep.
We want to thank AmericasMart for sponsoring this episode. We're very excited to come see you in January. And we wish you all a wonderful, safe holiday. And
yeah, because this is going to come out December 27th, I think, 6th or 7th. We're recording it earlier than that. But we really encourage you to count your blessings and pay it forward. This is a hard time for a lot of people. I recently had a niece. She passed away very suddenly at Thanksgiving. And this is going to be a hard holiday for our family, but especially my sister-in-law and her husband. And you got to, I just think about people like that at holiday time. And really, we're sending you guys big hugs and love for all you guys that have a hard time in holidays. So, but we're very blessed, and that is not lost on us ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
And Happy New Year.
Okay, bye.
Join Joanne and Kelly for a new episode every other Friday as they continue to explore the nuances of the interior design business with the goal of informing, inspiring, and entertaining their listeners. See their work at Kandrac-Kole.com and engage with them on Facebook and Instagram at Kandrac Kole.